Hello, back again to do another unboxing and review. Today I have an item from Spin Master. It belongs to the product line called Spy Gear, and this particular item is the iNITE night vision camera. So as you look at that picture there on the box, you can see that it's meant to be used in conjunction with your smartphone, and apparently by attaching this device to the back of your smartphone, it'll turn your phone into a night vision camera. Okay. Now, I want to state right here at the top, this item, although not old, is not exactly brand spanking new either. I didn't originally buy this item because I had a little misunderstanding of what it could do and what it was, and that'll be hopefully it will be a little more clear as we go into it. So, now, segueing from that, let's talk about how the operating principle that this thing works under. So you can see it says night vision. Now, if you remember footage from the Iraq War, or maybe you watch a lot of action Hollywood movies and you hear think night vision, you're probably going to think of that grainy green picture, and when they turn on the night vision it makes that noise. Okay, that's not what we're talking about here, all right? This is the way more widely used and also way more affordable concept of doing night vision, and that's through the use of infrared. So infrared, if you remember your science, infrared is just outside of our visual spectrum, so we can't see it. However, things such as cameras actually can see infrared. So therefore, the infrared is used like a flashlight. So although we can't see it, it is in fact lighting up the subject or the room, and then the camera can use that light to take a picture. So that's what we have going on here. Okay, so now with that, you might be thinking, okay, so what was the misunderstanding that stopped me from buying this right away? Well, it's the fact that if you look at this, now granted, if you read the entire box, it becomes clear, but let's just glance at the box here and you can kind of see where I was coming from. So I see this item here, right? I see the phone here, and it's really important to see that the phone has its camera exposed, right? So I was thinking, all right, so you probably put batteries in this thing, you turn it on, it shines IR light, it illuminates whatever, and then your camera snaps a picture, and because the camera can see infrared, it can see the illumination, and hence you get a picture of whatever. In this case, I think they're taking a picture of a fox. Okay, I'm thinking, that's pretty cool, so it's an infrared illuminator you strap to the back of your phone. Then I looked at the price, and MSRP for this when it first came out was $50. And I laughed. I actually literally did laugh because I'm thinking I can get an infrared flashlight for, $7. Hold it up, take a picture. Why do I need this thing, right? Okay, so, but if you actually read the entire box, which granted I should have, you'll see that this thing is more than just an infrared flashlight. So let's go ahead and take a look around the box. Okay, so there we are, Spy Gear. Now the first thing we see in the upper right corner in big letters, turn your smart device into a night vision camera. Okay, we get a picture of what the item looks like. Again, we've already kind of seen this. Here's a clue that I originally didn't notice, but you might recognize what that symbol is probably trying to tell you, but we'll get into that a little later. Then, okay, here we see there's a fox, and then you can see it through the camera here. I kind of think that's cool they did it. You can kind of see the image, but then it's illuminated here, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, you can record day and night. Of course, it's night vision, right? Download the free app, so of course you're going to have to download something to use with this. That might be another hint. If it was just a flashlight, why would I need to download an app? But we'll carry on. So, all right, this is one set. The name of the item, we already said it's from Spin Master. There are the places that you can get said app from both those places. Okay, and then down here, in very similar color to the background, they don't really actually stand out all that much when you look at this package, but they are helpful, and I wish I had read these earlier. Anyway, but you can see right down there, the first little info icon, see it says Wi-Fi. So, alright, so there is maybe a little more to this than I first thought. There's a built-in microphone apparently, there's an HD camera. Now, so there's the second clue, it's an HD camera, so this, okay, now I get it, this is actually probably a camera all on its own. So, alright, okay, now night vision, yeah, we know digital zoom, which I don't use digital zoom, but it's there if you should choose to use it, and then there's infrared lights, which make it night vision, but alright. Okay, turning around to the back here, let's pick up the camera here. So, Okay, it tells you what you get. And then, okay, pretty big down here. Record remotely up to 20 feet away. So now we're seeing how that Wi-Fi is used. And now there's that Wi-Fi symbol, as I alluded to earlier. You can see how it evidently clips to your smartphone. Hopefully that clip doesn't scratch my phone, but I'll take measures to prevent that if it is the case. Phone clip, and then the infrared light. So we have how many? 6 again? Okay. There's the HD camera, built-in microphone, and we kind of saw this earlier on the front of the box. So, alright, you can see there you can send video of phones. Alright, so it looks like downloading that app is going to be pretty important to using this thing. And then there's some other information. This is a 2018, at least when they printed this up. So it kind of gives you an idea of how new or old this item is, depending on how you look at it. There is the barcode. Okay, and then there's this real simple to understand 1, 2, 3 type thing. So download the app, connect, and then you can record. Alright. Alright, so overall impressions of the packaging. Now that I take the time to actually look at it and read through it all, I think it's actually pretty cool. I think it's a cool color combination. I do like the slim packaging, and if you notice, the package is actually kind of a trapezoid, so it has some unique boxing, and it also kind of tapers in here on the sides, which makes it somewhat of an interesting package. But what I don't like about this packaging is I think that some of the very important info wasn't put up front. So instead of, maybe they want to keep this, but I think there's a lot of other room here where they could have put really big, not down here on the bottom in this little icon, but they could have put it up here, Wi-Fi camera. And also, I know it's written on the back, but they have this record remotely from 20 feet away. Put that up front so you could have something say record 20 feet away remotely using Wi-Fi or something like that, and it would sell this item as being something more than just a flashlight with a little camera on it. Anyway, so I think they could have done that better, and that would have resulted in me buying this a lot sooner than I did. So, but now that it's here, let's get to the unboxing. Okay, so so that's what we see. Okay, we have the instruction manual here. Okay. And as you guessed, most of the item box is just open space, but that helps protect the device, so that works out well. Nothing else. The device is here in this little sleeve, which was diagonal in the box. Alright. A couple more tapes to cut. Alright, there it is. Okay, so batteries do go in it, but right now it does not have batteries, does not come with batteries. So without the batteries, this is pretty light. The material, as you guess, is plastic. I don't feel any metal, not even on the clip. But again, this is going to hook over the top of your phone, so maybe you wouldn't want that to be metal anyway. But yeah, I don't feel any metal anywhere on here, so it's all plastic. Here's the camera. There are the 6 LEDs. These here, they may look like controls, but they do not slide up and down, so those are just for aesthetics. There is a button over here. There appears to be an LED in there, maybe like a status indicator. Nothing on the bottom, nothing on that side as far as controls. The clip that hooks on your phone. So yes, it's pretty stiff. You don't want this to fall off, but I'm not sure if... we'll see. I might have to put some protection underneath here so it doesn't scratch my screen. Alright, and to get to the battery compartment, you have a single screw. So I'm going to go ahead and read the directions real quick, and then also put batteries in it, and we'll take it for a run. Alright, so I had the chance to go ahead and set it up and even test it out. So I'll start off by saying right away, it does in fact work. Okay, so let's talk about setup. It's pretty easy. You install the 4 AAA batteries back here. As far as the software goes, just go into your Google Play Store or the Apple equivalent and type in, just as it's spelled out in the instruction manual, iNITE using lowercase and capital case or uppercase. And the first app that came up in the list was the correct one. Be advised, it won't say the publisher or the creator of the app. It won't say Spin Master or Spy Gear, kind of like I thought it would. Instead, it says something like Tastemaker, I think is the company. But anyway, you will see the Spy Gear logo, so it should be pretty easy to find. Alright, the permissions for the app all make sense, which you would expect of something taking pictures and saving those pictures or video onto your smartphone. So, yeah, okay, so nothing suspicious there. And as I already said, it does in fact work. Okay, so now the setup, once you have the app installed, the setup is, getting the thing up and running is pretty simple. I'm not even really going to go into it because if you read the directions, it tells you how to do it, and they worked for me, so I'm assuming they'll work for you as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up a quick demo, and so I'll be right back. Alright, so to demo this out, I enlisted the help of a Shy Guy and a Goomba, who are, representing their favorite fuel treatment additive. Anyway, so all that, which you see now on my screen here, this is on my smartphone, by the way, you can see. Alright, so I'm holding up my smartphone. So what you're seeing is the image that's being transmitted by the camera, the iNITE. It's a night vision camera that's over here, right? So it's facing off that way. And just to show you that this here isn't a still picture, but in fact it's real time, I'll wave my hand through the scene over here. And there you can go. Now I will note I am moving my hand faster than it looks like on the display that you're seeing on my smartphone. So there is a delay. I've noticed on the audio there's about a 1 second delay. So when something happens, it'll take a second for it to be reproduced on the smartphone. And it seems that's whether it's a visual or audio, there seems to be that delay. But not too bad. Okay. Right now, let's go ahead and test the night vision. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the lights here. Alright, so now it's disappeared. We'll turn on the night vision using the little icon down here. And there you go. So it does in fact work. Alright, so I'm going to go out and get some real world test footage with this. But before I do that, I wanted to just mention one other thing about the software, and it's a good thing. The software the app, basically allows you to control this camera. However, it does not encrypt the video and images that it takes, meaning that you do not need the app to review the photos and the video that you captured using this device. So you will need the app to control this device, but once you actually have the files, then you can play them back with anything. You can play them back on by just going into your phones, exploring through the files like File Manager, and just opening up the files that you see there. So the photos will be JPEG format, and the video is MP4. Alright, so I had a chance to take this out and use it a bit, and I'm going to go ahead and put up the photos I took and the video I took with this device. Now, for all the photos and the video, I didn't do anything with settings or anything like that. Now, I don't even believe that this device even has a settings menu where you can adjust EV and white balance and all that. I really do think it's just a point and shoot type deal, and whatever setting it's running is what you're going to get. And I had it paired with my phone that you saw earlier. So now with the video, also, two things you have to know about the video I took with it. A, I had to cut off the sound, so you won't be hearing the sound with it because the place had some music playing, and, well, YouTube and all that copyright stuff. So, that, and also keep in mind that the subject of what I'm taking in the video is actually pretty tricky for cameras to record, and you'll see why in a sec, so keep that in mind. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at those photos first, and then we'll do the video. Alright, so from that you can see that it does in fact work. Let's start with the photos. You saw in the close-up of the flowers, it actually did a way better job than I thought it was going to be. I was really impressed. and that was a good first impression since that was like the first photo I took with it. So now let's move to the outdoor shots. You can see that it is winter up here, and so yes, it's a lot of snow and whatnot. And I thought that would actually give the pictures, because remember, this thing is doing all its own settings on auto adjust. So I actually thought the photos would come out with more of a bluish tint to them because, of course, snow, ice, and all that. But if you notice, it seems that those photos actually seem to have this red haze on them. I'm not really sure what that's about. So yeah. And last, but the fire. Well, the fire, again, you'll notice that it has a red haze on that too because we're outside still. But of course, the subject matter is fire. So on that one, I could almost excuse the red haze, but on those other two outdoor pics, not quite sure. But anyway, it did work. So now let's go ahead and move to how this thing is to use. So first of all, I want to give this credit for its durability. The reason I say that is I left this in the car when we had an air temperature. That means without the wind chill, just the actual temperature was -6 Fahrenheit. So if you think about it, that's 38 degrees below the temperature at which water freezes. And even after being left out all day and night in that cold weather, this didn't suffer any damage. So, and it seems to be working fine even now. So that's a plus. Also, liking the fact this uses AAA batteries. I know it makes it this much bigger, but I can always be sure that if as long as I have batteries, I can run this device, and I don't have to worry about lithium ions and how many charge cycles I have left before the battery goes kaput. So that's also another thing. Now, I do want to say there are no independent controls on this. What I mean by that is there's no button for a shutter where you can just use this all on its own and just take some pictures. Other little devices I've had that kind of do something similar to this did have that feature. This one does not. So you will need your phone. Okay, now let's also talk about getting your files, whether they be video or photos, off of this. And I actually shouldn't even say off of this because they're not on here. There's no SD card in here or anything like that. So everything is going to be on your phone. So now, getting back to your phone. If you want to get these files that you took off of here, the images, the video, off of your phone, it's kind of interesting. There's an extra step I figured out that you have to do in order to get them off. And let me explain how that works. So when you take a photo with this, it automatically sends that image or video to your phone, and depending on where your file that you want them to go in. Anyway, mine went into a file that is, I think it was called iNITE, which corresponds with this camera, right? Okay, so pretty easy to find, and it went into my internal storage on my phone, so the actual phone, not the SD card. Okay, so then when I'm just looking, now we'll say I'm looking through the phone, I go to internal storage, XYZ, find a iNITE video, iNITE cam, or whatever it's called, and then I open it up, and then I can see the photos and the video. Okay, so great. Now, when I plug the phone into the computer in order to transfer those files, those ones that you saw earlier in this video, I couldn't find them. Now, I went to the same location, right, but they weren't there. The whole file wasn't there. So I thought, interesting, so I took the phone off, disconnected it from the computer, and looked for them again. And when I explore on the phone, I can find them. Again, I plugged it back to the computer, and that same file I was not able to find. So for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to come up when you connect it to a computer. So how did I get the files off, you ask? Well, what I had to do is when I did not have the phone connected to the computer, I had to go explore, find the files, which again wasn't hard, and then I copied those, and then I moved those files over to a different location. I put them on the SD card. Then I connected the phone to the computer and then went to the SD card, and I pulled all the files off of there, no problem. So I'm not sure what that little extra step is. It almost seems like, I don't know for sure, but it almost seems like the way they have it set up, they kind of almost are trying to discourage you from copying them off using your USB connected cable to your computer. Maybe they want you to go through some share app or something. And again, you know what? I'm not sure what that's about because I found a way to getting around it, so that's why I'm going to do it. So anyway, just be knowing that so you don't freak out that you can't get that excellent shot that you had off and onto your computer or whatever. Okay, so now with all those things covered, I wanted also we'll cover on the range. I did go ahead and set this up 2 rooms down and I closed all the doors between the rooms. One room actually has a lot of stuff in it, so it gave the Wi-Fi a little extra obstacle to get through. But anyway, and I was able to watch what was going on through my phone, which of course was separated from this by 2 rooms, right? So we know it can go, at least it can go through some walls and even some stuff in the room. So yeah, I didn't test for max range, but the way I figured, if you're using this kind of like a spy scenario or whatever, 2 rooms is probably about how far you'd be away anyway. Okay, again, if you want to test it for longer than that, you can, but that's at least I know it works for that range. All right, so let's get to the conclusion. Would I recommend this at the price it is now? Yes. However, when it first came out and it was at $50, I think that would have been maybe a no. And I think a lot of people came to that same conclusion, maybe without even knowing it, because $50 for most people is one of those price checkpoints. And what I mean by that is that's a dollar amount that you might stop and think, do I really need this that bad, or do I want it that bad? $50 is one of those. I think the next one would probably come at $100, and you get the idea. Of course, depending on how deep your pockets are, that might vary. But I think for most people, $50 is enough to have them stop and reconsider just a bit. Now, when they're stopping and reconsidering, especially with this, if they were anything like myself, they didn't quite understand what this thing was all about. I mean, it had something to do with cameras, but we kind of went through this in the early part of the vid, and I don't think it was clear enough at what this was exactly and what it could do. And because of that, on top of it being $50, I think most people decided nope, and that's why there were so many of these on the shelf when I went and I got them on sale. Anyway, so, but now you can get these. I just looked real quick before finishing up this vid, and you're seeing these on sale for like $10 and maybe a little more for shipping, depending on where you're going to get it. So at that price point, this is an obvious, yeah, why not? Even if you use it just a couple times or for some special scenario where you need to be able to see what's going on without you being in the room, yeah, for $10 it's worth it, right?